What's up, guys? This is What's Really Going On. If you like to laugh, cry, talk shit, whatever the case is, then you're in the right place. This is Mac D, your host of What's Really Going On. What's up, guys? It's your boy Mac D, your host of What's Really Going On. So today I want to talk about something, and then usually when I tell a story, there's a meaning behind it or a lesson. So when my lady was pregnant with my daughter, uh, Relevant Aaliyah Rose. I like to say that name because it's awesome. So I wanted to spend more time with her and go to the doctor's appointments and stuff like that, and be there for everything. So I ended up working with her uncle, and he does landscaping. And so I started working with him, so that way, if I needed to miss a day or leave early or whatever the case was, that I could do that, and there would be no problems. So one day I'm working, and to get this, it has nothing to do with the pregnancy. It's just to tell you why I was doing this job. So I was working with her uncle, and one day, uh, he's like cutting the tree, whatever, and then he was like, "Oh, mijo, mijo, awas," and I'm like, "Okay," and he's like, "Awas, mijo," and I said, "Oh, okay, okay, awas, awas." So I run, I run over there to the truck, and I grab a bunch of waters, because there's a group of us right there working. I come back, and they're fucking laughing their asses off, man. Like all of them, like they're fucking laughing, like hard as fuck. And I'm like, what the fuck? Like, do I run funny or what the fuck? Like, is my ass showing? I got a hole in my pants or what? Like, what the fuck? And then he's like, ay, mijo. He's like, no, awas. And I'm like, yeah, waters. Like you said, awas. Like you wanted more than one. And he's laughing. He's like, no, awas. He's like, he's like, that's awa. And I was like, what do you mean that's awa? Like, no, there's a bunch of them. So obviously, awas, like water and waters. And they're just laughing at me. He's like, no, amigo. He goes, awas means like watch out, because we're cutting the branches and you're standing right there. So I said, awas. I was like, oh, no fucking way. Like, so I felt stupid as fuck, dude, because I thought he was asking for fucking waters. So I go over there running like a dumbass, grabbing him waters when this motherfucker meant watch out. So so that's funny, because I'm trying to learn Spanish. And so tell me why, she had my daughter, right? We went to go check the paperwork out, right? It's just gonna be random. You'll be like, what does that even, what does this got to do with anything? But you wait to the end and you'll know why I'm saying this. But we went to go check everything out, right? So we checked the names out. The lady's showing us, right? And my lady, she's looking at it, and she starts laughing. And I'm like, what's so funny? And she's like, oh, look, babe, look. And I'm like, what? So I look, and I'm like, what? It shows my name, my last name, and it just they wanted us to look over it, so that way we can make sure that it was like all legit, like all good. So she's like, what does it say right there for your occupation, like for your work? And I look, and it says gardener. And I'm like, what the fuck? Like, gardener? They put me as a gardener? One, I was like, because those fools, if you're landscaper, you do trees, they're not gardeners. Like, they don't like that shit. They're like, no, we cut trees and like branches and shit like that and stumps. Like, we don't cut grass, like we ain't cutting grass and fucking little plants, like shit like that. So I was funny. I was like, I feel like, I ain't no gardener, homie. Like, I'm a landscaper. But then I was like, wait, what the fuck? Like, oh my God, like these fools couldn't have put like bank robber or fucking tatted up vato or fucking smooth operator. And I was like mad as fuck. And the lady's like, oh my God, like, do you want me to change it? And then I was like, you know what? I go keep it. And she was just like, okay. And the reason I said to keep it was to remind me, to remind me that watch what you say, you know, never say never, and don't judge people, because the reason I say that is because when I was younger, I used to make fun of gardeners. I used to make fun of paisas. I used to be, look at these paisas, chuntis. I was younger. I was like, oh, I was born here. Like I was a Mexican and I was born here and I'm in the hood. I'm a Mexican hood fool. Like I'm like a hood baby, whatever like I was born I was Chicano. I was like, I ain't no paisa. And look what happened. I should have learned the language, because once I looked like an idiot when they told me about the waters, and then two, I was talking about these men, And that work is hard as fuck, dude. That work is hard, bro. Like now that I did it, and I was like, fuck, like I said, I would never do this job. I would never be a paisa. And I was a paisa, like, excuse me. And, I'm glad that I'm glad I went through that work because it opened up my eyes, because I mean, I still didn't really talk about it like that when I was younger, but I wanted to keep it to remind me that doesn't matter what you say, or where you are or where you're at. One day you might be where you said you would never be. You know what I mean? So watch what you say, never say never. You know what I mean? Because if you would have asked 15-year-old Rob or Dino, like, hey, homie, like, would you be doing, like, I would have been like, hell nah, bro. Hell nah. But much respect to the hardworking Mexicans, man, because that shit is hard, bro. Like I was tired, hurting, like I did a lot of work, and I'm glad I went through that, and like I said, I'm learning more Spanish, um, but yeah, like I felt dumb, when I didn't know what he was saying, but I learned it more, and thanks to my lady and her family, like they speak a lot of Spanish. Like I live somewhere now where if I would blindfold you and drop you off, you would literally think like you were in Tijuana, bro. Like when I first got here, I was like, how the fuck does nobody speak English? You know? And at first I was just confused. Now I'm like, I'm used to it, but I'm still like, ah, shit. I remember this one time I went to the store to get change, homie. And I went to the store and I was like, hey, man, I got some change. And they're like, ¿qué? And I'm like, change, And they're like, ¿qué dijiste? And I'm like, what? So I go to the next store, right? And I'm like, hey, man, you got some change? You got change? Okay, I got some change. ¿Qué? And I'm like, what? And I'm like, change? And they're like, ¿qué dijiste? I'm like, oh my God. So I went to like two more and nobody. I had to go back and my lady's like, did you get the change? And I'm like, ¿qué dijiste? Nobody knows, bro. Like, does change not exist over here? Like, I was so confused, dog. Like, it was crazy. But now I'd be like, hey, ¿qué pasó, güey? ¿Tienes cambio? Cambio por mi 20. Fucking around. But I'm better at Spanish now. But like I said, guys, there's a lesson in a lot of stories that I say. Just be careful what you say. Don't judge people. Never say nothing about something you know nothing about. Yeah, I mean, if you don't know shit about something, shut the fuck up because you just look like an idiot. And I was a dumbass. You know what I mean? And I apologize for being that way. And I respect Mexicans way more now. And like real Mexicans from Mexico, because I mean I'm Mexican, but people are like, oh, you're fucking born here. Like, okay, but I'm still Mexican and I love being Mexican, and I had to go through a lot of different ways to understand being Mexican to really respect it. And I'm glad I went through that. Um, and oh yeah, guys, happy New Year! Happy New Year 2021, first video of 2021. Be safe, guys. Wear your mask. You know what I mean? I got my mask right here, but I'm solito, cholito. But yeah, guys, I hope you guys enjoyed my stories. I hope you guys enjoyed my podcast. Um, if you guys are not subscribed to my YouTube channel, it's I actually got one. It's my music one is MacDino D. I got my family one is Rad Family, RAAD, 2 A's. I got this podcast YouTube as well. Follow my podcast is what's really going on with MacD, and then my podcast one. So yeah. Hope you guys had a good New Year, and I hope the rest of the year goes better. So it's MacD with what's really going on.